talking about God. If you're talking about God, you're talking about the papacy, the Pope, who can bring together many nations into a coalition of nations. Here we have Jesus holding the many sticks together. So fascism and world conflict is another facet of this story of the symbol of the fasci. Fascism and world conflicts. Here's Benito Mussolini. The symbol of the fasci was his main symbol for fascism in Italy during the Second World War. Here's Mussolini on the left, conferring with all of his international banking cartel friends who were also financing fascism. Here's Mussolini's flag with the fasci. Here is the Mussolini's eagle of the Roman Empire perched upon a fasci. Again, fasci is the law of God. So, when you're talking about Mussolini using the symbol of the fasci to represent the law of God, well then you're talking about God and his law, you're talking about the Vatican. And this is why Benito Mussolini, with all of his fascist dignitaries, went directly to the Pope to get permission and to set up what is called the fascist regime in Italy. Here is Benito Mussolini with some of his high school chums going to see the Holy Father. And let me tell you, there's nothing holy about the Holy Father. This guy is messing around with fascists, murderers, Nazis, drug runners. That's a whole story about the real story of the Vatican. We'll get to that one day soon. But here's Mussolini in the Vatican. And here Mussolini is signing contracts with the Vatican. They were signing treaties and contracts with the Vatican. Here's another picture of Mussolini in the Vatican signing contracts with the Pope. And here's Vatican City-State comes into being, and here you'll see Mussolini with the Vatican dignitaries. So it shows the church and state. This is what America was set up to defend the people against. Collusion between church and state. The Vatican and fascism. You'll see pictures of the Pope with Mussolini. Mussolini had a fascist friend named Adolf Hitler. Hitler was also a fascist. But his form of fascism we call National Socialism or Nazism. And the two of these, Beavis and Butthead, both fascists, both murderers, and both crawling on their knees to their master in Rome. Here's Hitler and Mussolini, two fascists during World War II that brought about World War. You'll see the fasci and the swastika for Hitler and Mussolini. You'll see the stamp with both the fasci on one side and the Hitler swastika on the other. So just as Mussolini had to kiss up to the boss of all bosses in Rome, Mussolini had to go to Rome, as I said, and sign contracts to allow him to become a fascist, bloodletting dictator under the auspices of the Roman Catholic Church. So Hitler and his Nazis had to do the same thing. So they had to go sign contracts with the old mob boss in Rome. So we have many, many pictures of Hitler in the Vatican at the time, signing contracts with the Vatican. So the Vatican was always the presiding overseer over fascism, Nazism, wars, bloodshed, drug running, plundering, raping, and killing throughout the whole world. So if you want to know what's going on the earth, you better check with the Vatican, because that's where it all goes back to. Even Hitler and Mussolini had to first of all pay tribute to the Holy Father. the grand master of all evil on the earth. Here's a concordat contract between the Vatican and the Nazis, right in the Vatican. There's Cardinal Pacelli, who later on, shortly after this, became Pope Pius XII. And you'll see in the Vatican, Nazi officials in the Vatican having tea and crumpets with the most murderous, violent, bloodletting establishment on the face of the earth. Here's Goebbels, propaganda minister for Adolf Hitler, with the German cardinal at the Vatican. So the Holy Roman Empire, when we hear that name, Holy Roman Empire, when Hitler spoke of the Third Reich, he means the Third Empire. He was speaking about the restoration of the Holy Roman Catholic Empire of Europe. Here you'll see the papal mitre with the swastika, the Vatican. Here's pictures coming out of magazines in 1934 of Catholic priests carrying the cross of Hitler, the swastika cross. Here is Hitler and the papal nuncio at their big celebrations. Hitler always had all the top Catholic dignitaries there, shaking hands and supporting him. Here he is in the Vatican. And here's a papal nuncio coming from meeting with Adolf Hitler. Papacy, Adolf Hitler, and Benito Mussolini, and Franco of Spain. So if you want to know something about World War II, World War I, and World War II, you need to go back to the Vatican, because that's where it all started, where the boss of all bosses lives. Here's Hitler coming out of church in deep prayer. I always took pictures in front of the church. It looked good. People loved it. Here's a Catholic clergy saluting Hitler. Catholic priest saluting Adolf Hitler. This is a lot of history that the people of America don't know. The Catholic Church was a Nazi organization from day one. They financed Adolf Hitler, and they promoted and protected the Nazis. Big story. There's a lot of stuff people don't know. Catholic priest saluting Hitler. Clergy saluting Hitler. Everywhere you look in Europe, you find the clergy and the Nazis always together. Here's one cardinal overseeing Nazi troops. Nazis and Catholic nuns, Catholics giving us the Hitler Nazi salute, straight arm salute, cardinals standing on the podium with all of the Gestapo. People do not realize the Catholic Church is one of the most desperately evil empires on the face of the earth. It's behind Nazism, fascism, all of the destructive wars, violence. It's a hidden dimension in world affairs. Then, of course, we also have them shaking hands with Hitler. Here's the Catholic with their flags, the flag of Christ with the swastika in the middle. Nazis celebrating Catholic bishop. You'll see up there in the background, you'll see the Catholic symbol of the Cairo. There's all the German Catholics there under the Nazi flag. There's the SS and the brown shirts attending church. Afterwards, they could go out and kill women and children, but they had to go to church first.